Welcome to the Super Memory for Schools program. I would like to introduce myself. I'm Lei Huang Zum, a history teacher at Tong Te Hoi Secondary School, Zolvat District. The world history can be visualized as the chest on the screen you are looking at. This box contains many events and years that humankind has been through. Each item in the chest has its own historic story. Before going into the details of those events, first, let's learn the content of Lesson 1. What is history? Lesson 1 consists of 3 parts. Number 1, history and the history subject. Number 2, why do we have to study history? Or in other words, the role of learning history. Number 3, learning more about the past through historical sources. First part, history and the history subject. Everything around us appears, exists and changes over time. So does human society. That process is called history. So you can understand history is what happened in the past, including all human activities from the time human appeared until the present. So what is history subject? History subject is a science subject that learns about human history, including all human activities and human societies in the past. For example, on September 2nd, 1945, President Ho Chi Minh read the Declaration of Independence, giving birth to the Democratic Republic of Vietnam at Ba Dinh Square, Hanoi. This is an event that happened in the past, so we say it is history. Please look at the screen. This is the stone steel records of imperial examinations, Hanoi. In your opinion, when looking at this image, what questions can you ask about the past? You can ask questions such as, when were the stelae built? Who built the stelae? Where are the stelae? What is the significance of stelae at present? By asking some of the above questions, I am sure that you have partly understood what history is. Next, we move on to part 2. Why should we learn history? Or, it is another way of saying, the objective of learning history. History plays a huge role for each nation as well as each of us. Learning history to know the origin of ancestors, homeland, country. Second, it helps us to understand how our forefathers had to work, create and struggle to build the country today. Third, it helps us learn experience from the past, from the predecessor helping our life at present and making it better in the future. Uncle Ho once said, as citizens we must know our history to understand the origin of Vietnam from history of our country, Ho Chi Minh. Please observe, this is an image of our people participating in the Hung King's Festival, Tae Hung King's Temple, Pho To, showing the beautiful tradition of the nation, which is the tradition of remembering our origins and ancestors. There is a question in the textbook. Someone claimed that history is what happened. It cannot be changed. It is not necessary to study history. Do you agree with that statement? Why? I am sure that with what you have heard so far in part 2, you can answer this question. The answer is no, because history has a great role for each nation as well as each of us. It helps us know about our origins, understand the work, creativity, struggle of our forefathers, and give us experience. So we have just finished studying part 1 and part 2 of lesson 1 to understand the concept of history and the history subject and explain why it is necessary to study history. In the following video, we will learn part 3, exploring the past from historical sources.